the cast reveal for the Kenobi series came out on March the 29th. And this is a show that a lot of people have been kind of clamoring about. We don't know too much about it. It's 10 minutes. I'm sorry, 10 minutes. It's 10 years after episode 3. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what we do know now is the full cast that they have revealed so far. There is one thing that I think is curious that we didn't see, Nick, and that is we don't see a young Luke Skywalker. But with Joel here, I don't remember Joel Edgman reprising the role of Uncle Owen. I think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to see a young Luke Skywalker. So you see the cast here. Everybody's excited about this series, the return of Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, and we're talking about ultimate bad Darth Vader. We're talking about him in his prime in the suit. And that's going to be a really good thing.
Rogue One Darth Vader.
Exactly. So that's good. You got Hayden Christensen. You got Moses Ingram. And, Nick, I don't know a lot of these actors.
I don't either.
I don't know how to say Bonnie's last name, but she's the young lady who played Aunt Beru in the prequel trilogy. You got India Varma. She's definitely going to be some type of warrior female. There's no doubt about that.
Maybe Ventress? Or is Ventress dead at this point?
She's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, she's dead. But you got Ice Cube Jr. O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
I liked his role where he played his dad in Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah. So, I don't know, Nick. We do have...
Justice for Han is in there. Sung Kang.
Right.
From Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Well, we do have an article that we want to go over with everybody right here. And this is straight from the Star Wars website, starwars.com. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi series to begin production in April, and the cast has now been revealed. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new Disney Plus special event series, starring Ewan McGregor as the iconic Jedi Master, will begin shooting in April. The story begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faces greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, turned evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi is directed by Deborah Chow, directed by 2 critically acclaimed episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1.
Which were 2 of my favorite episodes of Season 1.
She's great.
I thought she did great.
Yeah, she really did. As a director of Star Wars, she is accomplished. Obi-Wan Kenobi is directed... I'm sorry. This series also marks the return of Hayden Christensen in the role of Darth Vader. Joining the cast are Moses Ingram, Joel Edgerton, Bonnie Piesse. I'm not even going to try to say all these names. Obi-Wan Kenobi is executive produced, Nick, by Kathleen Kennedy, Michelle Rejwan, Deborah Chow, Ewan McGregor, and writer Joby Harold. Casting director is Carmen Cuba. Obi-Wan Kenobi will be available exclusively on Disney Plus. So what are your takeaways right there? We don't know too much yet.
Kathleen Kennedy's involved, so of course I'm nervous about the whole entire series.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that Joby person who's
Joby
the writer.
Harold. Yeah.
Joby Harold. I don't really know anything.
I don't either. We weren't prepared. We weren't prepared for this, but going over to the IMDb, John Wick Chapter 3.
Okay, wasn't bad.
He produced and wrote John Wick Chapter 3.
Okay.
Edge of Tomorrow 2014.
Has he written anything else? Does he have any other writing credits?
King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. I did not like it. It doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Writing credits: Untitled Transformers Project, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Army of the Dead, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, and Awake. So,
all right. John Wick Chapter 3 is probably the best thing on that list for me.
Yeah.
KK's involvement, of course, obviously.
She's just at the top of the food chain. You'd have to assume that she's not really going to be involved. If she is, not good.
Yeah.
But her name's just on there. Michelle Rejwan didn't do anything for this Kenobi series. You know, like it's. So I'm just going to have to be hopeful. One thing that we did not get on the casting information is we didn't get Liam Neeson.
And I think he's supposed to be making an appearance.
That's the rumor. So obviously you wouldn't expect Liam Neeson to be listed here. But here are the things that we do know. It's only going to be 6 episodes. 6 hour-long
episodes. So it's basically the length of a trilogy.
Yep. Now, could it go a second season? It could. And
I don't think they're doing. I think this is it.
Yeah.
I think they already said that. I'm like 95% sure.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I was under the impression for some reason that it was a possibility that they could do one more. But when they first planned it out, they knew it was going to be one. So the doors left kind of open, perhaps, to do a second. That I could be totally dead wrong, but that's what I
mean, it's always a possibility.
Yep. So what does this show have to do, Nick? You've seen the full cast. It's not all that telling. What does this show have to do for us to be good Star Wars?
Honor and respect the canon that's already there. Don't jack up the continuity in the canon of the prequels or the original trilogy. Don't destroy the character of Obi-Wan, and don't be a woke mess. If they can avoid those 3 things, I think there's hope for me.
Yeah, and this is a tricky thing for me, guys, because the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars character, with the exception of Luke Skywalker. It's a given for me that Luke is my favorite character, but after that, it's Obi-Wan, and on some days, Obi-Wan is my favorite character. So don't destroy this. And I am really tiptoeing into this whole statement that Kathleen Kennedy said, she who cannot be named, where she said this is going to be the greatest rematch of all time, of the century or whatever.
Yeah, I have some issue with that. Just on the fact of that, I don't know how it's going to play out. So until I actually see it, but I really don't want to see them meet up again. Yeah. We had the Obi-Wan Vader fight in Revenge of the Sith. You know, like if it's like Obi-Wan going to Dagobah and Obi-Wan goes into the cave and sees Vader the way Luke did, you know, and then the same thing happens and Obi-Wan's face is in the helmet, you know.
Hello there.
Yeah. You know, if it's something like that, but if the actual Darth Vader and the actual Obi-Wan actually see each other again for a second time, and then they fight again for a third time in A New Hope, it's like, I don't know. I don't want that personally. I would love for them to. I would love for it to almost be too kind of focused on Obi-Wan, focused on Vader maybe hunting Obi-Wan. So there's 2 different storylines there. You're seeing what Vader's doing, going after the remaining Jedi. trying to find Obi-Wan, you know, being hot on his tail or whatever, but they never actually meet up. Vader never actually finds out where he is, type thing. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be cool. I'm guessing that Liam Neeson is going to pop back up, and I would be surprised if Yoda did not. If Yoda's not in there in some way, shape, or form, I'll be surprised. I think he'll be in there, and even if they're just having Force conversation or something, you know, I think we see both of them in there at some point in time.
I agree. And the thing is, with a 6-episode story arc, you don't have a lot of time to throw in cameos from people. So, and you know, the fact that Hayden Christensen is confirmed for this show, he's already listed on IMDb. Everybody knows that he's coming back. I don't think we're going to get just a little bit of Hayden Christensen. I think we're going to get a lot of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Rogue One, where you get like a little taste. It's a really good taste, but you get like a little taste. I think we're going to get a lot of Vader. And for me, that could make this thing very interesting.
And they also have to get Vader's voice right. Like, I mean, they have to get it as close to Episode 4 version Vader sounding as possible. You know, every time I hear his voice in the animated series or any of that, you know, it's not quite the same from the original trilogy, because I've heard it so much. I can recognize when it's off. So if it's off, that's gonna throw me out. Even James Earl Jones' old voice in Rogue One threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, it's sad. I appreciate them giving the role to James Earl Jones, but the man's in his 90s, and you know, I agree with you. I would rather the voice be done
in some other way whatever they have to do to make it as close sounding as possible to Episode 4, Episode 5 Vader.
Yeah, but honor James Earl Jones no matter what you do.